Most overrated players at each position. This from the Bleacher Report, and this is in the entire league. They say tight end, David Njoku of the Browns. Njoku isn't a bad tight end, but he isn't a great one either. The fact that his contract ranks among the highest at his position just makes no sense. Defensive line, they say Dalvin Tomlinson. He just isn't an impact player. He's a one-dimensional lane clogger who isn't even an elite option at that one dimension. What he is apparently is an excellent salesman because he's convinced at least one of the NFL decision makers that he's more than what he actually is. I would argue that a run stuffer has more value for the Browns, who struggled mightily, historically even, at that. They didn't have anybody that did that, so he's going to be more valuable to the Browns than anybody else, being Tomlinson.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I mean, the Browns defense had plenty of things going on, talent-wise, but the one thing they were missing was that big 300-plus pound guy who took up blocks in the middle and really made it hard for guards and centers to get to the second level of that defense. And, I mean, you said it, the Browns' rush defense last year wasn't just bad. It was historically bad. I mean, you keep thinking about that Week 4 game in Atlanta where the Falcons pretty much could have told the Browns were running the football straight up the middle. And it was that one drive, I think they did it 9 or 10 times in a row, something like that, every single time, and the Browns simply couldn't stop it. And that was kind of a microcosm of the entire season where they were giving up big rushing performances left and right. So, yeah, you're overpaying in a sense, but I mean, if you're convinced that Dalvin Tomlinson is a missing piece that helps plug in a hole that you desperately need to fill, then it's a price you're willing to pay. I mean, every team is in a sense has a weakness as far as their evaluation goes, where you kind of have to overpay for something else. In this case, it was just, the Browns didn't have a run stuffer, and you have to kind of pay a premium to get one in Tomlinson, who's got plenty of experience at doing that.
The other one, Njoku, they got to find a way to get him more involved and make him more of a factor in the passing game. He has the skill set to do it. They just got to find a way to use him to his extent, his fullest extent.
Yeah, I mean, there's been years where we've been kind of talking like, is it time for the breakout year for David Njoku? It feels like we've been talking about that for a while. Came into the league, obviously, he had flashes in his first couple seasons. Then he had 2019 with the problems that he had with Freddie Kitchens. 2020, he was the backup to Austin Hooper. 2021, you had all those issues with Baker Mayfield and the left shoulder. Last season, finally became the number one tight end, but became the number one tight end in an offense that had Jacoby Brissett, and obviously was not going to get as many opportunities throwing the football as you would probably expect the Browns to have this year with Deshaun Watson quarterback. But in a lot of ways, David Njoku is primed to kind of get in that area. I mean, only 26 years old, turns 27 just before training camp. He's a July birthday, so believe it or not, it's kind of crazy. It feels like he's been in the league an extremely long time, but he's only 27 years old, still kind of getting into the prime of his career. Now, it's not going to be easy to get all these targets in this offense because you look at all the weapons the Browns have on offense, what they've added just this year alone. Njoku is obviously the number one tight end in this offense. It's pretty apparent that that's the case. And you would think that if there was a time for him to really break out, it's right now. I think, he's got the ability to have a big season. He just hasn't shown it consistently. But now that he has a quarterback he's worked with before, and, Deshaun Watson expected to play 17 games, this has a good chance for David Njoku to have his best season.